206. Or better yet, stop in and meet John and the friendly team at Indy Drug Company.
Love your pharmacy. Choose Indy.
101.1 and AM 1160 WCCS and at WCCSradio.com.
Information presented on this program is believed to be factual and up to date, but we do not guarantee its accuracy, and it should not be regarded as a complete analysis of the subjects discussed. Discussions and answers to questions do not involve the rendering of personalized investment advice, but are limited to the dissemination of general information. A professional advisor should be consulted before implementing any of the options presented. Encompass More Asset Management is registered as an investment advisor with the SEC and only transacts business in states where it is properly registered or is excluded or exempted from registration requirements. Registration with the SEC does not imply a certain level of skill or training.
GCES.
And the boys are here in the studio with us this morning. Clint Smith, Galen Bargerstock. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to have you both with us today as we talk a little retirement savings. We go down many, many different roads when we talk about this.
Yeah.
This road is a particularly interesting one for, I bet you, a lot of folks who are saying, I'm tired of working. I just want to retire and sit back. But that's not really realistic, Clint, for a whole bunch of people just yet.
There are a lot of people that want to retire right now. I mean, honestly, I would retire right now if I could. But there's a lot of people that want to retire. It's really, though, there's a lot of dates and ages that work into it. And it's a lot of different stipulations that go into whether you can retire without penalty right now. Because really, anyone can retire at any time if they have enough money. It's just that you're going to pay penalties. You're not going to be able to collect Social Security. So if you have enough funds in other ways, you can totally retire tomorrow if you really want to. It's just how much are you going to be paying to be able to do that?
Mm-hmm. Galen, I would guess that a lot of it has to do with what your goals are.
A lot of it's goals and not understanding the rules, I think, would be. Because, you know, what Clinton's saying about penalty is, you know, just say, for instance, you have all this money sitting in a 401k and you're 50 years old and you're like, oh, I could just leave and I have all this cash and I'd be fine. There's no way I could outlive it. And that might be true, but you have a 10% penalty if you're not 59 and a half if you start drawing that money. So it's maybe that you do have all of the correct stuff for the recipe, but it's not quite the timing to put it in the oven yet.
Yeah.
So he worked a date in there, 59 and a half. That is where, without penalty, the IRS lets you pull from the thrift savings plan, your 401k, your Roth IRA,
That's pretty much an IRA,
any of those retirement funds that you have, you get a penalty until 59 and a half. So we actually recommend calling us on your 59 and a half birthday too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
But obviously that's facetious. You'd rather they call you much earlier than that to actually set it up.
Yeah.
But for those folks who wait until the proper time to retire, they're going to have much, much more benefit and a much easier lifestyle afterwards.
Yeah. We definitely recommend meeting with us as soon as possible because, people might think, oh, I'm going to retire next year, but it might not be in the cards for you to retire next year. You know, we just talked about 401ks and like investments. That age is 59 and a half. For Social Security, that's what, 62 and 65 to 67 is where you make more?
62, unless you're a federal employee and you have a supplemental, but it's not technically Social Security, so yeah, 62.
Okay. Yeah. Keep it simple. Yes. So the simple answer there is 62. So that's another age. You have to think that too. Like people, oh, I want to retire at 55. And that's a possibility if you're in a position that gives you that, which state police, they get the ability to retire early. Federal employees, postal employees can retire earlier. And they get supplemental Social Security, which is how to supplement that income from Social Security that they're not able to get. But a lot of people really don't look at those dates and ages. Those are, milestones to get to when you should also check in with us.
Yeah.
And we do all that. If you meet with us at 50, we'll handle all of that until forever.
Yeah. I love the way Galen, when he said that, he knew that what he was saying would be really confusing for folks.
I did, yeah, I knew, but I still said it.
Yeah.
But a very serious part of that is that people don't understand what those rules are, and they don't understand what the ramifications of a decision that seems okay, looking at things. For instance, you have a traditional IRA. Yes, that money is sitting there, and yes, you can retire on that, and you can set it up however you want that amount of money to come to you, but you don't have access to all of those funds all at once.
Without penalty, yeah. That also goes into, did you go into an annuity? Maybe you only have limited liquidity on some of the investment products that you do currently have. But, the one thing that I'd want to tell everybody about this retirement and early retirement, I know thousands of people that are retired that waited until their 60s and stuff, and then they went back to work out of boredom. So maybe it's just a nice little vacation or a change of scenery that you need, not a retirement at 52, because honestly, so many people are going back to work just to go meet people, to go talk to people, later on in life. So I don't think you're ever going to maybe not stop working, because even if you're working at your house or something. So, you're moving.
Yeah, and Clint, he's right. There are a lot of people who say, this is the career that I have had, and this is where I have worked, whether it's an office setting or some other type of work that they've been doing, and people that they've been working with. They want to have something different. My buddy and I always used to say our dream job, even as we pursued whatever careers we had, our dream job was to go mow grass on a golf course.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it.
It's so funny. When we first started this, I have a story, so it's completely kind of unrelated, but we had a client, Betty and Diane. They're an amazing couple from Pittsburgh. And Betty, I used to call her our woodwidling. She was woodwidling. We went down to their house one time in Pittsburgh, and she had a whole entire setup. It smelled like sawdust, and she had like all of these different carpentry tools. And we just moved into our house on East Pike Road, and we were like, hey, do you want to come redo our cabinets? Tons and tons of cabinets. She was in way over her head. By the end of the whole experience, she decided she did not want to be a cabinetry maker, but she did put a lot of time into that, and that was what her plan was to do in retirement. We really talk about that a lot, too, because it's not just about, finances for us. You have to think about what you're going to do in retirement that's going to actually make you happy, too, and have a plan.
Yeah. Galen, a big part of retirement savings is, of course, you hate to put it this way, but predicting how long you're going to live.
Yeah.
And how long that money that you have set aside and the retirement savings are going to last you. You, of course, you're in the business of reassuring people that what you have, we have the plan for you that however long you live, you're going to be provided for.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, it like you said, everybody's different. Everybody has different accounts. Some people want to pass on all that money. Some people want to spend it while they're alive. The thing is whenever we sit down, we tailor a plan specifically to you and your needs. Do you want to spend that money all while you're alive? Well, here's a plan to spend all of the money. Do you want to sustain the money and skim interest? Well, here's how you're going to pay, take dividends and things like that. So there's many different plans for many different people. It's just ultimately sitting down and making that plan that's going to help somebody out, because, the money's going to be there no matter what. It's how are you efficiently in the market with that? Have you building guarantees with insurance companies, or are you just riding the market in your securities accounts?
Change the conversation a little bit and talk about somebody just starting out in their work life, whatever their career choice might be. Somebody who's 24, 25 years old, and they come to you and they say, I want to get set up for retirement now, which I know is probably pretty rare because there are other priorities that people have in their lives. But if someone does do that, you have much more flexibility with them to make adjustments down through the course of their career and really help them build a tremendous nest egg.
Tons. I mean, that's some of the best people that I can help are people that are entering in the workforce that have a pension, because I can help them elect from the very beginning the correct things. Is this the right life insurance? Well, no, because it's group life insurance, and over the years it's going to be different. So, we're going to focus on different things at the beginning, but ultimately when it's all said and done, you're going to have a better retirement from planning from the beginning versus planning from the last 3 months from retirement.
Yeah. Lifestyle choices.
Yeah. There are some people that we do work with, some really young people that I'm surprised, because even though we do this, we didn't start until we were in our late 30s. But there are some people that are really successful, that are younger, that are forward thinking. So some people are really into it and some people not so much. But we do have some really young clients that are probably going to be really, really, really well set up by the time they're ready to retire.
Yeah. It is weird because I have a set of twins that are younger, and they are They're both savers, but one is ultimately a better saver than the other one. And it is weird to kind of see, especially when it's a twin and they look the same.
Yeah.
You know, how completely different it could be.
Oh, that's a social experiment waiting to happen right there.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, all of this is retirement talk that is really, really valuable for folks. But we started out, Clint, on the premise of whether somebody is reasonably set up to retire.
Yeah.
And making that determination, you shouldn't try to do that yourself. You should let the pros help you.
Yeah, definitely give us a call, 724-915-0005. We'll get you directly to Lorraine. She'll be able to set you up with an appointment and go over what you need to have at the appointment. We do appointments on Zoom. You can come into our office on Philadelphia Street, and we'll also come out to your house. I mean, Galen just drove to Connecticut for a couple days in New York. So if you're around Indiana, you are a lot closer than those places, and we can definitely make that happen.
Yeah. And Galen, you promise not to crush people's dreams. If they say that I want to retire here, you're not going to crush their dreams. You might make them adjust them a little bit.
I will be 100% honest.
So you don't mind crushing dreams?
No,
I'm just kidding.
No, I do hate when I do have to tell people the bad news, but unfortunately, I have to sometimes.
It's a better thing.
It's a better thing, yeah. It's helping.
Absolutely. All right. Give the number again, Clint.
724-915-0005, or just stop in our office, 1780 Philadelphia Street.
Guys are always willing to talk to you, and it's not just them. You've got a nice staff that is there, a bunch of pros.
Yeah, we're all there to help. We have some awesome girls in our office that are willing to help, and
You're good to go.
Yeah.
You're good to go once you visit with GCES. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. 24 minutes after 8 o'clock. Matt in the newsroom. He's coming up shortly. It is Indiana in the Morning on a Monday morning. Boomer Sports next.
This is Boomer Esiason with Sports Minute. Kentucky Derby runner-up journalism put on a spectacular rough-and-tumble stretch run for the ages to capture Saturday's Preakness. But without Derby winner sovereignty in the field, and thus no Triple Crown buzz, casual fans really didn't care. What a shame that such a beleaguered sport cannot get its act together to better space out the calendar dates of its three most marquee races. I'm Boomer Esiason.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go, but I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there, providing hot meals, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding.
To learn more, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.